course. Well, if you're close enough to them, you should just say, hey, protest, you didn't sail the right course. On windsurfers, it's pretty easy to be out of hailing range, so no matter how loud you yelled, the person might not hear protest. And so at that point, you could tell the person afterwards, hey, you didn't sail the right course. This was a source of confusion. I think even Vice Formula National Champion Steve Bodner forgot to jibe around this mark, and Mike Percy reported to the race committee, hey, Bodner didn't sail the right course, let's score him as DNF. Well, the race committee can't score him as DNF, Mike can't score him as DNF. The only way he could be scored as DNF is if Steve retired or someone protested him for sailing the course incorrectly. The race committee can only make adjustments if someone doesn't start correctly or someone doesn't finish correctly. That's kind of their jurisdiction. But if they see someone not sailing the course correctly, they can protest them. But without a protest, you can't really adjust that person's score. So anyway, a bit of the rules. This is the race course that we raced on. The wind was coming basically kind of down like this. It made for a port favored start, so it was actually quite a bit south, so people on port tack were actually getting a big lift right into the pier and then making it off big, and the guys on starboard are having a tough time laying the line. So anyway, this is the course. Again, this is the race committee boat. All of the pictures, except for the picture of us talking about the rules, were taken from 11-year-old Emmett McDonald. Here's a picture of Emmett. If I can pull that up. This is a few years ago, but Emmett is USA 314 on a little Sailworks 4.2 sail. He sails a formula board, and he has a lot of fun. But back to the race course, Emmett was taking pictures right on the committee boat. So people making a barging start like here, Emmett had some great images of people flying past him towards the leeward mark. He had some great images. And then he also had some neat images, pictures of people right on the starting line, especially the port tackers going after the starboard tackers. So let's get back to those pictures and check out some of those pictures that Emmett took. And what's fun about studying these pictures too is you get to see kind of how people kind of some advanced techniques of people racing and stuff. And this is Mike Zychek. Here's a hot tip. Look at how little downhaul he uses. So he has almost barely any downhaul. His leech is actually looking pretty clean. He's on a 10-meter sail. Most of the fleet was on a 10-meter sail, but he has barely any downhaul. And Mike's speed was almost untouchable. He was, I think, the guy to beat that day, but you can go check out the results yourself on the Calcup website and see that yourself. Mike's doing a barging start. This is, again, this image is right at the stern of the race committee boat. So Mike's flying in on starboard, going for a barging start. So here's some other people, Gary Peer, Doug Michna. This is a new guy. We got new people actually coming out to race. If you're a new person and you want to race in San Francisco Bay, just write the CalCup people, Jane or Mike, and they got a full CalCup lending library. They'll loan you stuff. This is all loaned equipment. It's good equipment. It's Hansen sails. It's nice boards. And you can go out there and race right with us, and we welcome people to come and race with us. That's an awesome thing. Here is Marion Lepert, and I think she's actually going downwind here. I don't think she's starting. So these pictures will jump around. This is actually Mike going downwind as well. Notice his foot is in the chicken strap, and his arm placement. Here's Eric Christensen. I'm guessing he's in about second place, part of the North Sails Mafia. He's beating Steve Sylvester. This looks like an awkward moment with Andreas, but it might be Marion because I'm seeing a booty there. So here's Steve Sylvester jamming along. 20-time national champion. Here's the classic head position of Mike Percy jamming downwind. This is people coming downwind. Here's Al Morrell trying to catch those guys. Here's Sahel, hot on their heels. Here's Ben Bammer cruising along. Here's Ben and Sahel kind of duking it out, trying to get to that lured mark as quickly as possible. Here's a beautiful picture of the Campanile at UC Berkeley campus. Here's David Wells. David Wells trucking along. David had to pull out later in the day because he hit a submerged object and broke his board and his fin. But here's a nice picture of David screaming downwind. And then here's C-Rad, Chris Radkowski. Look, he's got his back foot in the chicken strap. Here's Gorge local, Andreas, former San Francisco Bay local. Trucking downwind. Here's Doug Michna. And then here's Mike, I think on the second lap, or this might be a pre-start. Again, the continuity. This is pre-start stuff. This is Sahel riding an old Norris sails. He normally rides Hansen sails, but he's waiting for his new Hansen sail. And here's Steve Sylvester, and maybe they're making some last-minute adjustments before the start. Here's someone actually still racing. These pictures are in chronological order. So Sahel and Sylvester had already finished, and this is Lynn Pruitt just finishing up his racing. This looks like Mike pre-start, getting ready to start. Here's Marion taking out some people at the start. Here's me, Brett McDonald, and then here's Chris Radkowski. For those people who don't know Marion, I just want to say a few words about her. She is a superstar. She is 13 years old, and she is just jamming. Here's her website, marion143.com, and check out her schedule. I mean, she's starting with a training camp in Florida. She's out there with the Olympic athletes, learning from, the top guys sailing the RSX and the whole Olympic team, not only the windsurfers, but the coaches for the other people as well. So learning a whole bunch of stuff. And then she just has a full-on packed schedule. She wants to do some international events. I think she's going to go to the World Championships for Techno class in August at Weymouth. And she's just a superstar. So I'm a big fan of Marion. And she's only 13 years old. And she just charges it. We went to a Friday night series. It was blowing 30 plus. The whole fleet was going, hey, I wonder if we should even sail. And everyone's eyes were on Marion. And she was rigging up, ready to go. And no one wanted to not sail because a 13-year-old was sailing as well. It was actually so windy we called it that day. But kudos to Marion for actually rigging up and inspiring the rest of the fleet to rig up too. Let's go back to the racing. So here's Marion charging the start. Cool stuff. Getting in position. Here's Gary Peer and myself, kind of a little bit late for the start. Look at our angles. It's pretty tough to get to the start. This looks like some downwind again. Here's Steve Bodner. Steve was actually sick this day. He was running on fumes. Let's check out Steve's website. If you've never seen Steve's website, it's a really cool website. I'm going to go over. Steve did a full blog on this windsurfing day, and he calls it running on fumes and 25 knots plus. So Steve actually called the wind later in the day 25 knots plus. So pretty cool stuff that we got Steve Bodner tracking the events. Okay, Steve's going downwind. Check out Steve's foot. He's not in the chicken strap. One of the rare people not in the chicken strap. So he's pretty lit up. He's going all out, and he's also one of the rare people that doesn't have a Zycheck board. I think he has a starboard. Look at this. Look at Percy. His foot really isn't in the chicken strap. It's kind of in between. So he's got Steve Sylvester right on his tail. Look at how far back Steve's harness lines are. So pretty far back. Steve always has a pretty high boom setting. But yeah, if Steve Sylvester was on my tail first, I probably wouldn't be in the chicken strap. So it looks like Mike is doing everything he can to keep ahead of Sylvester. Great shot, sliding down the waves. Here's Jason, great guy in the fleet. Here's Zycheck, jamming to catch those guys. This is, I think, a neat shot here. Zycheck is in the chicken strap. Zycheck knows how to make these boards go faster than probably anybody else. In his hand, right on his adjustable outhaul. So I don't know how much he's adjusting his outhaul, but it looks pretty slack. He's got his